Hello, and welcome to another edition of Alien Investigations. As always, I'm your host, Stephen, and I've got Guillaume here with me bright and early in the morning over there, isn't it, Guillaume? 5 a.m., right?
Yeah, it's 5:30 now, but yes, pretty early
Yeah.
on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, Sunday morning.
Sunday, yes. As always, thank you for availing yourself to throw down in a game of X-Files CCG at this very early hour. And also with us is Nathan from Wisconsin. How's it going there, Nathan?
Good. A little warmer.
Yep. We're not only going to be playing with the commercially released cards, we are also going to be playing with the 22364 Scully expansion, the unreleased one that was in production at the time when the game was discontinued, that our dear leader Dax has been able to recreate for us and has made that available. And if you are interested in acquiring a copy of the unreleased Scully expansion, you can reach out to Dax in the Facebook group, the X-Files Collectible card game, and he'll work with you about ordering a printed set for yourself. And yeah, so Guillaume and I have incorporated cards from the Scully expansion into our decks as well. So we got a little bit of the custom cards blended in with some of the commercially released cards. How do you feel about your deck that you constructed, Guillaume, without giving away too much?
I think the main issue with it is that it is too big, because it is getting increasingly difficult to incorporate the premier cards. The truth is that there, Mulder expansion and now Scully. So I don't think I'm going to be able to play as many Scully cards as I would like. But we'll see. There are cards that I would have liked to play against Nathan last week, and I included them again this week. So we'll see if they come up. I have, well, without giving too much away, I think there is jeopardizing the X-File, which I think would be a cruel card to play. It might be in my deck.
We were just talking about that one earlier. I played that against David, I think, in a game. I can't recall if and I think so it cost 5 conspiracy, and I think he had to pay like 12 resource points to keep his 4 cards, and then you had to discard the rest of them. So like for 5 CP, I basically bankrupted him and had him discard half his hand. It's a ridiculous card.
Guillaume, tell us, which agents have you incorporated into your team this evening? I'm taking it to be a healthy sampling of commercially released agents as well as Scully set agents. Am I correct?
Well, no. Because last week I did use two of the Scully set agents, and I think these are the only 2 agents that I could not think of a different team with other Scully agents, so I had to rely on my trusted science team again, which I'm really quite fond of. Like, it's my version of your Manos team. So once again, coming tonight, Agent Dana Scully, Agent Danny Pendrell, Nancy Spiller, and Agent Lamana.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so without further ado, I'll go ahead and unveil my team for everyone, starting with my lead agent, Dana Scully. But as you'll see, it is the Gen Con Dana Scully agent card, not the commercially released ones, mind you. And she will be joined by her former buddy, Agent Tom Colton, Agent Nancy Spiller as well. From the Scully expansion, we have Agent Linda Kaleka.
Oh, okay.
We also have Agent Bonnecaze. And last but not least, come on, guys, say it with me.
Detective Manners.
Detective Manners.
Mobox.
Yeah, there you go. We're going also a bit more towards the sciences, as Guillaume is doing as well. So, Nathan, what are your thoughts on these 2 teams that Guillaume and I have assembled?
Well, I've seen Guillaume's in action, so I know that is a formidable team. I'm not sure what to think of yours yet. It kind of, I think, hinges on how these Scully agents work out.
Kind of does.
I think you can. You're going to investigate bureaucracy with Peter, Colton, and Bonnecaze, and I think Colton is always nice because he does bring 2 res for a 4 RP agent, and he also pays for bureaucracy cards. So I think you are going to have a lot of bureaucracy.
Yeah, with Nancy Spiller being included on the team, you can also expect there to be a decent amount of sciences sites being investigated as well. But yeah, you are correct, Guillaume. We're going to be looking at mostly bureaucracy and sciences, some medical too, but I didn't throw too many in there as well. But yeah, we'll see what sites come up in the course of the game. We'll see how they do. And of course, the deck itself is.
Stephen, what's the total cost of your agents?
Scully 7, Manners 3, that's 10. Colton and oh shit.
Yeah.
I think we've got a problem.
Yes, I do.
I mean, you could get rid of manners. I would not be opposed to that.
No, I'm sure you wouldn't.
But I think you only need 1, so Kaleka's probably your.
Is it 21?
Yeah, it's 21.
Damn it! How did I? Oh, I know what I did because I had Lamanna.
Oh, right.
I took because he's 3, and I took him out and I replaced him with Spiller. So that's what happened. And I forgot to because initially I was using Yost's site, and when I was using Yost's site, I had Lamanna in there. Well, damn it! This is gonna be a fun recording to have to edit around this.
I think it'd be really funny to like leave this in and make it.
I'm not leaving this in.
I suck!
So yeah, I think Kaleka's just gonna have to sit this one out. Just getting my tokens on my agents, but I think we're set to go. You ready to throw down, Guillaume?
Yes, I am.
All right, so Nathan, our judge, I'll be sending you backstage and right there. All right, Guillaume, let's do this. First things first, we're going to figure out who's going first. Got my 2 tokens that will help us decide that. Which hand are you choosing?
Left hand.
My left hand. My left hand means you're going to be starting off as the investigating player. And I'll be taking on the role as the conspiracy player for this first round. So let's draw our 7 and get this game going. Go ahead and draw your free card if you haven't already. And we are now in the briefing phase.
All right, so I'm going to generate my res, which is 5. Takes me up to 10. Okay. I'm not buying any card, or am I?
No?
No, I'm not buying any card.
Okay. I think what I'll do is... it's interesting that they both are here. I'm going to sell 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 for 5. And I'm also going to sell True Stigmatic for 3, both of which feature 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 on there. So what was it? 5 and 3, so that's 8. So I'll take the conspiracy pool up to 13. I need some stuff. So let's do 5 cards. I'll buy 5 cards and take my conspiracy pool down from 13 to 8. Back to you, sir.
No healing. No. No healing, no requisition. For deployment, I'm sending everyone to the field. And for case assignment, we're going to go investigate the NASA mission control in Houston, Texas. It's keyword sciences, so I'm going to use Spiller's token to pay for it. So it's sciences 5+ or observation 5+, and it's an affiliation or result question.
Why would somebody want to sabotage a space shuttle?
Well, if you were a terrorist, there probably isn't a more potent symbol of American progress and prosperity. And if you're an opponent of big science, NASA itself represents a vast money trench that exists outside the crucible and debate of the democratic process. And of course, there are those futurists who believe the space shuttle is a rusty old bucket that should be mothballed. A dinosaur spacecraft built in the 70s by scientists setting their sights on space at an ever-declining scale.
And we thought we could rest easy with the fall of the Soviet Union.
Not to mention certain fringe elements who accuse our government itself of space sabotage. The failure of the Hubble telescope and the Mars Observer directly connected to a conspiracy to deny us evidence.
Evidence of what?
Alien civilization.
No, of course.
And we'll be setting one bluff on that site.
Okay. I'm going to use Scully's token, one of Scully's token, to look at that bluff.
Not the most threatening bluff, I'm afraid, for it is nasty surprise.
Okay.
So now we'll head into the investigation phase, and Guillaume will now assign his agents to the site. I'm going to take a wild leap and say that you're going to assign all 4 of them.
Yes, I am.
It's a pretty smart move, considering 3 out of the 4 of them are contributing to the sciences prerequisite.
Yeah, that's correct. So it's I'm going to be using sciences, obviously, and not observation. So it's 5 plus, and I currently have 8.
8. Okay, that's going to be tough to beat. So I'll go ahead and reveal that bluff once again, which, as you saw just a moment ago, was nasty surprise. Play to add 5 tokens to your pool. The card was face down, so I will be paying 2 for it, and therefore adding 3. So my conspiracy pool goes up from 8 to 11. So I will send the nasty surprise to the discard pile. And for my next play, I'm going to throw down Luis Cardinal for 3.
You get a payphone that's out of order. Nobody complains. I'm complaining.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sure it's been called in.
You're sure? Meanwhile, I'm going to miss that phone call. That's going to cost me time and money. Who's going to call that in?
For the audience who may not be familiar with this Scully set adversary, Luis Cardinal has the activator of Agent, for which you have 4 of them at that site at the moment. Luis Cardinal has the keywords adversary, government, creature, and pawn. His effect, Guillaume, is that he can attack 1 agent, my choice, for 1 round of long range and 1 round of close range combat. The rest of his effect pertains to agents Walter Skinner and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, for which you have neither of them on your team. So I'll refrain from explaining that portion of the effect. What do you got?
So I have nothing to negate him. I'm just going to use Lamana's token to look at your hand to see if there is something that I could use.
All of which leads me to believe that our guy was some kind of sociopathic game player. Maybe even a recluse, since he designed a trap not only to avoid detection, but to avoid contact with the victim.
Is that your profile?
Forget it.
Drake's final phone call supports this theory.
Once per game, when Agent Lamana is part of a team investigating a site in the investigation phase, he may force his opponent to show the cards in his hand. Lamana may then steal any 1 card. You may use it immediately in the investigation. You must still pay for the card. Whether you use it or not, place it in its owner's discard pile at the end of the turn.
Clearly the longest agent effect in terms of number of words. I thank you heartily for reading all of that for the audience. Unfortunately, though, you're not going to find any cards amongst my hand that are going to be helpful to this, but nonetheless, you'll see what I'm working with. For I have No One So Paranoid, Class County, Washington, Mount Avalon, the Erlenmeyer Flask, Warning from the Loa, which would have been great if you'd done this before I'd set down the adversary. You've Got a Tale, Unexplainable Time Loss, and Implant Records and Steals Memories. I'm going to have so much fun putting that into the editing, all that into the episode. Just like I do every time Hosting's Effect is played.
Okay, so... Yeah, okay, I'm not stealing anything.
Alrighty.
I was debating whether or not to steal something. I would still have to pay for it, but then you would have to discard it. But since I know that you have that implant card, and I'm going to lose 4 CP maybe at the end of the turn, 4 RP, sorry.
Yeah, there's a good chance that card's going to get played. Anyway, so at this juncture, I believe we have no choice but to head into combat, yes?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and Luis Cardinal has a long range of 3 and a health of 4, and your team's combined long range is more than enough to send Luis Cardinal on a one-way trip to the discard pile, but not before he unleashes 3 long range, for which he will inflict upon Nancy Spiller, which will be enough to send her to the hospital because she has a health of 3.
No, you'll have to deal with the phone company.
You deal with them. I want my money.
Is there a problem there?
Yeah, there is a big problem. Chupadora, amigo.
So Nancy Spiller will be on her way to the hospital, and Luis Cardinal will also be removed from the field. And at this point, Guillaume, you still have more than enough to meet your sciences skill check. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. I have 6.
And unfortunately, as you can tell from my hand, I do not have anything else that is going to thwart your investigation. So, my friend, you have successfully investigated your site.
All right, so it's an affiliation or result question. I'm going to...
Do I need to play this card now, or do I need to wait till after the question gets asked?
I think you can ask it. You can play it whenever you want at this point.
Okay. Well, before you ask your question, I'm going to go ahead and play Implant Record Records and Steals Memories. And this is also from the Scully set expansion, and its effect is as follows. Play after your opponent has completed a successful site skill check. Remove up to 4 resource points from your opponent's resource pool. And that, for the cost of 1, will take Guillaume's resource pool down from 10 to 6.
Yeah.
Memory formation.
Huh. The chip seems to be mimicking that process, replicating the memory function in the brain.
Like a computer hard drive.
Yeah, but no hard drive we've ever seen. This kind of neural network could be not only collecting information, but artificially replicating a person's mental processes.
You could know a person's every thought.
Frightening.
Successful investigation, costly. 4 res and 1 agent in the hospital. So, is your affiliation primordial?
Oh gosh, is it? My X-Files affiliation is not primordial.
Okay.
I'm happy to see that your stellar guesswork from last week is apparently not in attendance tonight.
No,
right, Nathan?
Too bad.
Okay, so as we head into the debriefing phase, I am presently sitting on 7 cards. So at this point, I am inclined to keep them all.
And I have 7.
And with that, we will pass it over to me. I will draw my free card to start a new round. And now, let's take a look at my team's res and see how much they will be contributing to the resource pool for this first round. Scully has 2, Agent Tom Colton has 2. Nancy Spiller has 1. Agent Bonnecaze has 1. And how many does Detective Manners have, Guillaume?
0.
0. Big fat 0, I'm afraid. But my team is generating 6 resource points, and that's, nothing to sneeze at. So that will take my resource pool up from 5 to 11. And I think I'm gonna buy 4 cards, which will take it down from 11 to 7. Over to you, Guillaume.
Okay, so I'm going to sell Dr. Jeff Eckerl for 3. Yeah, Eckerly for 3, and Walter PPK for 4. So that's 7. Puts me up to 12. And I'm going to buy 4 cards.
3?
4 cards.
So about 4 cards? Okay.
Hold on. I now have 8.
Oh, okay. So I did pull one of my 2 hard evidences for this first round, so I'll just go ahead and play that one right now.
This isn't official procedure.
Really?
It's probably a safe bet Ray Soames never made the varsity basketball team.
Hard evidence. Add 5 tokens to your resource pool. That costs 2. So I'll pay the 2 and take my resource pool up from 7 to 10. And for healing, seeing as this is their first foray in this game, my team is at full health. And so we'll move past that to the requisition phase, and I don't have any equipment cards in my hand, and actually I don't think I have too much of it in my deck altogether. It's not like the Scully set had any equipment cards, right, Guillaume?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, they were strangely omitted from the Scully expansion. For deployment, we're going to send everyone out into the field. So now that all my agents are in the field, we'll be heading into the case assignment, in which I'll be throwing down those 2 sites you saw earlier, Guillaume. One of which being Class County, Washington, from the beloved 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 from Outer Space episode. And Mount Avalon from the Season 2 episode Firewalker. Class County, Washington, Guillaume, one of the Scully set sites, is a monosite with the keywords bureaucracy and affiliation. Now, Avalon has the keywords method and sciences. And to pay for these, I'm going to use Nancy Spiller's token to pay for part of Mount Avalon, because Nancy Spiller can pay for cards that have the keyword computer or sciences. I'm going to use Colton's token to pay for part of Class County, because it has the keyword bureaucracy, and Tom Colton can pay for criminal investigation and bureaucracy cards. So I'm going to take 2 out of my resource pool to pay for the other halves of those 2 sites. While you're considering which bluffs you want to play, Guillaume, I'm going to pay 2 right now to play Warning from the Loa, which will force an opponent to reveal any adversary cards in his hand. If your opponent has 1 or more, discard 1 at random.
So they pronounced him at the scene?
Well, his head was hanging on his shoulders like a broken peony. He had no respiratory or cardiac functioning. I saw no reason to conduct an autopsy then, and I still don't. Well, you can see for yourself. I have a sick joke, isn't this? Jackson?
Sir?
Who the hell's been in here?
Someone's tampered with McAlpin's body, and I want to know who.
Okay, I have no adversaries in my hand.
Well, that's a shame. That is a crying shame.
But
So
that's good to know. That's comfort. That's a comfort.
it does put me a little bit at ease, but I await any bluffs you might have.
Okay, I have 2 bluffs, one on each. This one with the token is going to be placed on the bureaucracy site, and the other one on Mount Avalon.
Okay. I will use 2 of Scully's 3 tokens to take a look at both of those bluffs.
All right, so the one on Mount Avalon is Detective Tony Fiore.
Okay.
And the one on Class County is 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
It raises it from like 4 to 5 or something, right?
Yes, or 5 to 6.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What the hell? All right. So let's send Nancy Spiller and Agent Bonnecaze to Class County, Washington. Let's also send Colton with them as well. So Bonnecaze, Spiller, and Colton are at Class County, and Scully and Detective Manners are over at Mount Avalon. We will begin our investigation with Class County, Washington, in which the prerequisite is Bureaucracy 4.
Because the proper authority showed up with a couple of men in black. One of them was disguised as a woman, but wasn't pulling it off. Like her hair was red, but it was a little too red, you know? And the other one, the tall, lanky one, his face was so blank and expressionless. He didn't even seem human. I think he was an android. The only time he reacted was when he saw the dead body.
Yeah, that's a bleeping dead alien body if I ever bleeping saw one.
Between the 3 agents there, Spiller has 2, Bonnecaze has 2, and Colton has 1, for a total of 5, enough to make the bureaucracy skill check with a little bit of padding.
All right.
Go ahead and reveal that bluff, Guillaume, for the second time.
The bluff is radioactive area. I am not going to be paying for it, since
that's a smart call.
It would be useless.
But well played. You really had to make me think about how I was going to divide up my agents. So, what else do you have for that site?
Since I know that you have alien discretion, I don't have anything else for that site. No, Ehrenmeyer Flask, sorry.
I was going to say, I don't have alien discretion. Nothing else for this particular site?
No, you can ask your question at that site.
Well, if one thing 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬's effect prove is it showed you what not to play. Okay, so because my team's site investigation has been proven successful, they have been awarded an affiliation question, and I will be asking Guillaume, by any chance, is your X-Files affiliation evolutionary?
No, it's not.
It is not, but I have scratched off 9 possibilities from Guillaume's hidden X-File there, but there are still 32 more for which it could be. Let us turn our attention to Mount Avalon, which is a Sciences 4 site prerequisite with a method question.
I haven't found anything yet that describes it in specific terms.
Mulder, nothing can live in a volcanic interior. Not only because of the intense heat, but the gases would be toxic to any organism.
What does this say?
It describes the metabolism from hydrogen sulfide into silicon dioxide.
Doesn't that suggest a silicon-based life form?
But the fundamental building block for every organism known to man is carbon, from the smallest bacterium to the largest redwood tree.
Yes, but silicon is the closest element to carbon. It reacts almost identically with other elements, the way it combines to form complex molecules. A silicon-based life form in the deep biosphere has been one of the holy grails of modern science, and maybe Trepkow's found it.
Mulder, that is science fiction.
Which Scully has 3, and Manners doesn't have any sciences to his name. So unfortunately, we're currently a little shy of this site skill check. But Guillaume, go ahead and reveal that bluff for the second time. What do you got there?
So it's Tony Fiore. It costs 2, but 1 since it was face down. Play to cause your opponent to discard 2 cards at random from his hand immediately.
Detective, we're under the direct authority of Captain Gershom at the 14th Precinct.
14th Precinct? I never worked under the 1-4. What's all this about?
We believe that the death of Detective Rudy Barbala yesterday can be linked to the death of Officer Morris 9 years ago.
Linked how? And I thought this Barbala flipped his wig and jumped out a window.
Did you know the detective?
By reputation.
So for that, I'm going to play Langley for 2 and negate that annoying bluff. And so we'll send Detective Tony Fiore to the trash bin. But while that's one predicament down, I'm still at another one that I have to resolve, and I honestly am not sure if I do have a witness in my deck that's going to be able to help out with that. But we're going to find out in just a moment, because I'm going to use one of Detective Manners' 2 tokens to call forth a witness from my bureau deck, and hopefully there is one in there that does have at least a little bit of sciences that can help out.
Hey, I just got a call from some crazy bleephead claiming he was an eyewitness to this alien abduction. You feel like talking to this blank hole?
But do you want to take a guess on what witness is in my hand?
I know there are several witnesses that can contribute to sciences, so I would not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a particle accelerator.
1/5 the power of the Texas Super Collider in a space the size of a Walmart.
Powered by what?
A couple billion megawatts. Virginia Power loved us.
I won't leave you dangling in suspense, or you as well, Nathan, for I have pulled Dr. Davy from my bureau deck, and Dr. Davy, for the cost of 2, adds 2 to the team's sciences skill check. And that, my friend, takes the team's collective sight skill check up to 5. What do you got for me?
I get one last bluff to play, so I'm going to be playing face up. I have injured relative, costs 5.
Oh, damn.
Force one opposing agent your choice to go to the hospital immediately undamaged.
Okay, and I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that you are sending Scully over to the hospital undamaged.
Yes, that is correct.
Smart. All right, so Scully gets sent over there.
What's wrong? Let's get out of here.
So Dr. Davy, for all that was worth, proved to be quite unhelpful. Much like in the episode, actually. We'll send Mount Avalon to the trash bin along with Dr. Davy. Tell us, will you be discarding any cards from your hand?
No, I have 6 cards.
I believe I have 8, so I'm going to take a look in just a second and verify that I have to get rid of something. Yeah, I have 8. I need to get rid of something. I guess unexplainable time loss can stand to get discarded because your team is swimming in sciences over there. Anyway, let's pass it over to you, my friend. Go ahead and draw that free card.
Okay. I'm going to generate my res, which is now only 4. Puts me up to 10. Okay, and I'm going to buy 3 cards.
Okay.
And passing it to you.
Let's say I will part ways with Call for Help for 4. That hurts.
Oh, yeah.
That is a good card, too.
Yeah, it is.
See the dilemma I'm in there. Oh, God. I really wanted to try out this card, but he won't let me die for 4. And so that will take my conspiracy pool up to 15.
Wow.
And I will buy 5 cards with that. No, 6. We'll do 6. Back to you.
All right, so healing Nancy Spiller heals 1, but she still has to remain in the hospital.
Everything okay, Nathan?
Turns.
Okay. You just had a very pensive look on your face. So anyway, sorry.
For requisition, I am not requisitioning anything. And for deployment, I'm keeping everyone where they are. For case assignment, we are going to go back to NASA Mission Control. I'm going to pay 1 for it.
Payload delivery is complete, Houston. We're awaiting your order.
System check for re-entry deorbit burn.
Holy God, there's something outside the ship. There's someone outside the ship.
Can you repeat that, OGC?
There's some kind of ghost outside the ship.
No.
And I'm also going to play Make the Deal for 2. Play this card on one side card during the case assignment phase. No bluffs may be played on this side except for bluffs, which would negate this card.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play the blue plate right now, and that's for 0. Play this card and flip over the next card in your bureau deck. If that card is playable this turn, you may do so for 0 cost. And it is a site, for which I will send to the discard pile, unfortunately. Yeah, go ahead and send them in.
So we're moving to investigation phase. I'm sending the 3 agents in the field to the sites.
Okay. Tell us about your skills.
So I'm going to be using Sciences 5+, and I currently have 6 Sciences.
Okay. And I'm going to play Foreign Operative, which has an activator of event. You did just play that Make a Deal card, so I think that satisfies the activator for that adversary, yes?
Federal agent!
We will yield to our judge for that.
Yeah, that was the Make a Deal card?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why am I not finding this?
So that card does not prevent the use of the agent, but does playing the event card during the case assignment phase, is it enough to activate?
Doesn't satisfy the activator of event.
I mean, I guess it does because
Operative.
the event is attached to the site, so the event is in place. So yeah, I guess.
Is it a resource event?
It doesn't say resource. It says play this card on one site card during the case assignment phase. Discard this card when the site card is discarded. So it is kind of attached to the site, even though it's not a resource card. It will be discarded at the end of the turn.
I see. Well, it really should say resource on it. But that aside, the actual game text of the card says it stays on the site. So I think it does stay on there, and you can play Cardinal on that site then.
Foreign Operative, but yeah.
Or I'm sorry, Foreign Operative, yeah.
No problem. The judge has determined that the Foreign Operative is a viable card for this site, and the Foreign Operative, Guillaume, has the keywords adversary, government, and creature. And his game effect states that this adversary may use martial arts and subterfuge cards. And for the cost of 5, I will be reducing my conspiracy pool down from 9 to 5, or 9 to 4, to pay for him.
Okay, so I don't have any card to negate the adversary, so we can move to combat.
Okay, and for which the Foreign Operative has a long range of 4 and a health of 5. I think you have enough long range to best him. Is that right? You have 5?
I have 6.
You have 6? Okay. But not before the Foreign Operative issues out 4 long range, in which he will inflict upon Agent Dana Scully, which will be enough to send her to the hospital because she has a health of 4.
That is correct.
and the foreign operative will be sent to the discard pile. I thank him for his service, even if it was dastardly.
Come on down.
So Pendrell has 3 sciences, but I can remove 2 tokens of him to increase it to 5. So
yeah, that is unfortunate. However, I'm going to take this opportunity to use Agent Bonnecaze's one-time effect and remove his token to, at any time during the game, discard the token to force agent to return to the bureau immediately, unless you got an objection.
No, it's just that. I had another. Well, I could either remove tokens of Pendrell or play another card, but I
didn't. Oh, I thought you did. Okay, sorry.
No, but I had not removed his tokens yet. But now I know that you are going to
go ahead and I'll let you. Yeah, because I jumped the gun as I have a tendency to do. I thought you did. So I just was all right. Yeah. So go ahead and leave him on there.
But
what's going on here?
Agents Mulder and Scully?
That's right.
I'm Special Agent Bonnecaze. I've been called up from the Norfolk field office to coordinate this inquiry.
Well, I don't know what you do down in Norfolk, but last time I checked, rifling through a man's office was considered an invasion of privacy.
Well, we're operating under guidelines specified by the Office of Professional Conduct. The protocol, I understand, you've opted to disregard.
What do you mean?
I want both of you to make yourselves available tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, I will prematurely use Agent Bonnecaze's effect and spare you from having to expend 2 of Agent Pendrell's lovely tokens. But nevertheless, that at the very least puts us in a position where Guillaume is going to be hard pressed to make that sight skill check.
I think at this point, with only Lamana remaining, he doesn't have enough. He doesn't have any sciences, so that sight skill check has failed.
We will move on to the debriefing phase, and I'm going to have to drop me some stuff here. Oh, but I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of 1 card right now, but I will actually pay for it. Rejuvenating Caves for 2, and I'll place that one right up there. All right, Rejuvenating Caves, for those of you who are not aware, I will play this card next to my X-File. It's not next to my X-File, Nathan. Is it okay if it's on the opposite side of the board? Thank you. Yes, thank you. Usually I do have it next to my X-File, but because I put it over here. All right, so Rejuvenating Caves. Place this card next to the X-File you have chosen. Place 10 tokens on this. Beginning on the next turn, as the conspiracy player, I may take up to 2 and place them in my conspiracy pool. The tokens become conspiracy tokens. When all tokens have been removed, discard this card. But I think I still have 1 too many cards in my hand. Yeah, I got to get rid of something.
I'm going to discard Backbreaker, and I now have 7 cards.
I'm going to discard He's Gonna Find You, much as I really wanted to play that one. Ready to pass it back to me?
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Free card. Okay. And as of this juncture, Agent Dana Scully is in the hospital, albeit undamaged. So she will not be generating res for this briefing phase, leaving me with only 4, courtesy of Agent Tom Colton, Agent Nancy Spiller, and Agent Bonnecaze. While Detective Managers is just looking pretty with his 0 res. Adding 4 to my resource pool right now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just stay at that. I'm not going to buy any cards. What about you?
Okay, so I have a lot of selling to do. I'm going to sell Dr. 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, the second one, for 3, 2 Lux video camera for 5, application for FBI resources approved for 3, and the Mahan Propulsion Laboratory for 2. So that's
good lord,
13,
sir.
if I counted correctly. Yes. Puts me up to 15. And I'm going to buy 6 cards. I ended up buying 6 cards instead of 5.
Okay.
So I now have 9 CP.
Okay. And with that, we'll head into the healing phase, for which, although Scully is in the hospital, she is undamaged, so we can actually skip past the healing phase and move into requisition phase. And I do not have any equipment cards in my hand, so that's a no-go. For deployment, we'll send Scully back to the field to rejoin her fellow agents. We will be sending the team to the Ambassador Hotel in Washington, D.C. That is, Guillaume, a multi-site with the keywords criminal investigation, sciences, affiliation, and method. And who's going to pay for that? Yeah, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Nancy Spiller's 1 token to pay for the Ambassador Hotel. And before you go and set any bluffs on that card, I'm going to play the card you just played in the previous round, which is Make the Deal. Play this card on one site during the case assignment phase. No bluffs may be played on this site except for bluffs, which would negate this card. Discard this card when the site has been discarded. And to pay for that, I'm going to use Tom Colton's RP token because Make the Deal has the keyword criminal investigation on it. And so I'm only going to deduct 1 from my resource pool to pay for that card. So no bluffs, Guillaume. Might as well just head into the investigation phase at this point, right?
Let's go then.
Let's do it. All right, so for this site, we get our choice between criminal investigation 5 or sciences 5. Yeah, let's go criminal on this. We will be applying our criminal investigation skills to the site, for which Scully has 2, Colton has 2, Spiller has 1, Bonnecaze has 2, and Detective Manners has 1. That is 8 criminal investigation, if my math is not failing me at this point, Guillaume. Tell me, sir, what do you have for me?
Well, I have nothing since I can't play any bluff, so you are free to ask the question.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, affiliation or method. And since I failed to get your affiliation last time, let's take another crack at it, shall we? By any chance, Guillaume, is your X-Files affiliation occult?
No. No, it's not.
Of course not. Let's head into debriefing and see if I want to get rid of anything. But I'm going to get rid of You've Got a Tail. And now watch, this is when Guillaume plays a resource card.
I have 9 cards, so I need to discard something. Okay, so I'm discarding Stunning Blow and Dr. Berube.
All right.
And I now have 7 cards.
Okay, let's pass it back to you. Go ahead and draw that free card, sir.
Okay. Briefing phase, I'm going to generate my res, which is now only 2. So that's 6. Okay, so I'm going to play hard evidence to pay 2 to add 3 to my pool. And I'm also going to play Friend in the FBI.
I was wondering if you're going to see one of those tonight.
And I'm only going to put 8 tokens on him to pay for it. And finally, I'm going to draw 2 cards, and so I'm paying for the 2 cards and passing it to you.
Thank you so much. I've got 3 cards I'm going to sell. Jeremiah Smith for 5, Frog Holocaust for 3, and Deductive Reasoning for 3, and that is 11, which will take my conspiracy pool up from 2 to 13. Yeah, 11 plus 2. And 2 from rejuvenating caves as well, so that's 15. All right, so I will buy. Let's do 6 cards. So I'm paying for them first, right, Nathan? I'm paying for them first. 15 down to 9, and that lets me draw 6 cards. No, thank you so much. We're doing it the right way. I just wish. I'm thinking of how many episodes I've already posted, and I'm like, hadn't been doing that up to this point. But we're learning as we go, aren't we? Back to you, sir. Heal.
So healing. So Spiller heals 1, Scully heals 2.
But unfortunately, neither of them will be exiting the hospital for this round.
No. And for case assignment, we are going to go investigate Farmington, New Mexico. It costs
Albert Hosting's neighborhood.
It's alien investigation 5+ or computer 5+, and it's motive or method.
Okay.
Through those rocks.
Down there.
2 bluffs, sir. 2. Investigation phase.
Yeah.
Are we sending them? Or are we not sending them?
I'm sending them to the site.
You're going in. All right, so tell us about which skills they're applying. I'm going to take a wild
I am not going to be using alien investigation. I'm going to be using computer 5+, and I currently have 6 computers. So
okay, they both have 3, and you've got Pendril in reserve. Okay, so the first bluff is my second nasty surprise. Play to add 5 tokens to your pool. Face down allows me to get 3 from that. So that goes up from 9 to 12. The second bluff is the mailman, in which I will play this card to allow you to move 1 game effect token from any one card to another immediately. You may not take a card above the normal number of tokens allowed. And that was face down, so I will be deducting 3 from my conspiracy pool, which will take it down from 12 to 9. And unless you have a card like, say, in the neighborhood of a Langley you wish to play, I will take one of Pendril's tokens, bring them on over to this end. What say you?
I'm going to Langley that.
Yeah, of course you are.
I'll clone the Airphone's carrier. Make them think we're sending a ground air fax.
That's one twisted star 69.
I'll just get ready to ride the wave, hippie boy.
Just get me on that plane and I'll get you autopilot access.
How are you going to do that?
Airline telemetry systems use processors similar to those found in CB radios.
I'm in. We got ourselves a convoy.
Pendril gets to keep his tokens, and the mailman is out of here. So you're still in business
for now, but yeah.
Yeah, for now. Because I did save 1 card in reserve in case you decided you didn't want to go to that site. And that is Detective Thompson. And I'll be paying the full cost of that, which will take my conspiracy pool down from 9 to 6. And Detective Thompson is going to change your site prerequisite to bureaucracy 3. And if I'm not mistaken, Lamanna has 2 and Pendril has 0.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Any suspects yet, Detective?
I don't work for you, sir. And unless you hear different from the Attorney General, this case is a local matter.
Agent Mulder, we should go.
There's no need to get bent out of shape.
On the contrary, I think I've been exceedingly polite.
Right. Well,
So-
there is nothing else I can play. Well, I could, but not with 2 RP. So
not with 2 RP.
Too bad. This one is gone.
Okay, and with that, let's head into debriefing, and I need to part with 1 card, and it's going to be Dr. Stroman, because you got a pretty good amount of medical once Scully and Spiller get back on. So now I've got 7. What about you?
6.
Means we're going to pass it right back to me. Free card. And my friend in the FBI has finally emerged. So, hey, he's going to finally get his chance to shine. I was worried one of those 2 was not going to show up. So now we both have friend in the FBI's on our mats.
Let him go. Let him go. You've done well. You're dismissed.
And friend in the FBI is probably what I would call one of the bare essentials. Never leave home without it. Let's assess the team's res, shall we? For which Scully has 2, Colton has 2, Spiller has 1, and Bonnecaze has 1. That gives us 6 once again, because we're at full strength. So my resource pool is at a healthy 11. I'm kind of like you right now, Guillaume, where I'm like 5? No, 6.
Yeah.
6? No, 7. I don't know. I need a sight so bad. Otherwise, this turn's going to be a wash. God, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do 6 because I need a sight so bad right now. So I'm going to pay for 6 cards, and my resource pool goes down from 11 to 5. I'm not comfortable with that. Please be... Oh, sweet Jesus. And I didn't even have to buy that many either. But now I don't have much in the way of being able to stop you, so I hope you don't draw a whole lot of good stuff. Anyway, oh, wait, no, one of my 6 is hard evidence, so that one picked a good time to come up. My eyes did not see it the first time when I was going through those 6 cards. All right, so get that out of the way. It takes my resource pool up to 8 from 5, because it adds 5 to the pool. So that is both of my hard evidences out of the way, and that was a good time for that second one to come up. What are you selling, good sir?
I'm going to sell Shotgun for 6, the Museum of Natural History for 2, and Semi-Jacketed Hollow Points for 2, so that's 10.
Okay.
Puts me at 19. And I am going to buy 6 cards, so I'm down to 13.
Alrighty. So I do have a lot of cards in my hand. I'm just going to play this other blue plate that just came up and see what I have. So my second blue plate, just like the first, means I'm going to flip over the next card in my bureau deck, and if that card is playable this turn, I may do so for 0 cost. And it is, alien technology. Play after your team investigates a site with bureaucracy or alien investigation. Okay. Okay, so if I so I can only play this if I successfully investigate a site. So this round with alien investigation or bureaucracy. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes out of that. Healing phase. No one to heal at this point. Everyone has passed their physicals with flying colors. Requisition phase. I'm pretty sure I only have 1 shotgun in this entire deck. And that is the only equipment card I believe that's in here. So let's skip past requisition here and forthwith. Deployment. Everyone is out in the field, and that is where they shall remain. For case assignment, the 1 site that I drew, I'm going to play that one, and that is the Eurisco building in Crystal City, Virginia, from the episode Ghost in the Machine, for which Nancy Spiller hails from, as does your Agent LaManna and your other Nancy Spiller. Eurisco building, Guillaume, is a multi-site with the keywords method and result, computer, and bureaucracy.
File deleted.
Who's going to pay for that one this time? He thinks it's going to be Nancy Spiller. So I'm going to use Spiller's token to pay for that multi-site. Again, method and result, computer bureaucracy. I await any bluffs you have.
Okay, so I have one bluff for the site.
One bluff, and I think I'll just use Scully's final bluff token to see what that one bluff is.
So it's Sheriff Daniels. Changed to
okay.
3+.
And I think you're well aware of how very, very little subterfuge I'm sitting on at this point. So that is a strong bluff. So let us head into the investigation phase, in which we will be applying our bureaucracy skills to this site, for which Colton has 1, Spiller has 2, and Bonnecaze has 2. That is 5, enough to meet the site prerequisite of bureaucracy 5. And go ahead, Guillaume, show us that bluff a second time.
Sheriff Daniels costs 3, but it's 2 since it was face down. So play to change the site prerequisite to subterfuge 3+.
I got witnesses to say the boy was there laying hands on those people when they died.
You think that's how he killed them? With a touch?
I don't claim to know how or why he did it. But we've been looking for the boy since Tuesday, and he does not want to be found.
Well, there's nothing out of the ordinary about these reports, except that there were no autopsies performed.
Hartley managed to block my autopsy request on religious grounds. Also doesn't help that the county coroner is a dues-paying member of the Miracle Ministry.
Well, I did just pull my second Langley on that, so I guess this is probably the best time to use it, but now I am without Langley's until I get a grid pattern search for an upcoming pull.
I just spent 9 hours in jail defending my honor. I think I deserve a little respect from the man in blue here. An apology for my friend and I for suffering insults, humiliation, and time in the slammer to see that justice is done. You know what the difference between you and me is? It ain't the hair. And it ain't the donut duster over your big fat pie hole. The difference between you and me is that
The difference between you and me is I got a gun.
I'm going to play a second Sheriff Daniels from face up.
You're forcing me to have to... Well, I could use the No One So Paranoid, or I still have that Erlenmeyer flask I've been sitting on since the first round. And actually, because, yeah, the Erlenmeyer flask does have a keyword of bureaucracy on it, so Colton can pay for that, and so I'll only have to pay 3 for it, so that's not too shabby. So we'll negate Sheriff Daniels, and we're still in this. I only have 3 resource points, Guillaume, so anything more you want to hit me with, I'm going to be probably a little more hard-pressed to stop you. What else you got for me?
I'm going to play the foreign operative.
Shit. And but I have manners. Well, tell me, what is the foreign operative's keywords?
Adversary, government, and creature. So no pawn.
Adversary, government, and creature. Yeah.